Hello friends, welcome to English in My Way. How are you? Today we are going to discuss a very important topic, that is how to make an effective phone conversation. How to make an effective phone conversation. Why is it important? Is there anyone that does not have a phone these days? Even a 10-year-old kid has a phone, right? We either make phone call or we receive phone call. There is no day that goes without making or receiving phone calls, right? So that is why making an effective phone conversation is important. That's why I put this video together, to have a set of ways in which you can express yourself over the phone. Okay, so there are two ways. I've distinguished into two different types. That is, one is formal, the other is informal or semi-formal, in ways in which you can converse over the phone. So I'm going to display this screen that I'm going to be showing shortly throughout this video, and my video will be in just the corner, so that you can follow through what I'm going to be discussing, which will make it easier. So I encourage you to watch it, like you can watch as many times as possible, or until you memorize or get familiar with it, in order to make a effective phone conversation. So let's get on to the topic. So friends, this is the screen that I was talking about. I have distinguished formal and informal and semi-formal into two different categories, and I hope you'll be able to follow one by one. First, let me start with formal. Another thing I want to mention to you before I start is, there are many of you who are watching this. You could be anyone, right? You could be Raj, or you could be Arun, or you could be anyone, right? So I'm just I'm going to be using a common name to define the caller who I'm calling to, like the person who you're looking for as Patsy. Patsy is my dog's name, so I'm calling for Patsy. So the caller name is going to be Anita. Anita is going to call for Patsy. So I'm going to mention Anita as the caller and Patsy as the person on the other end. Okay, so in order to make it clear, that's why I want to make it clear. So I've addressed Anita and Patsy throughout the video, so don't get confused. Okay, now the first is formal way, and informal, they're I'm going to go by category wise, that is introduction. So when you make a phone call, that is, first you're calling, hello, this is Anita calling from Dunder Mifflin. Okay, so what does it mean? Anita is the name of the person. So as I mentioned, Anita is the caller and she's calling from Dunder Mifflin. This is a formal, remember, informal conversation, it's mostly that deals with business. So Anita calling from Dunder Mifflin is the company name. Okay, so always mention the company name when you make a formal conversation. You can replace Anita with your name, of course, and Dunder Mifflin with the company that you're calling from. Okay, so these are just some of the examples in order to make it easy for you to understand. Okay, the next is how to start a conversation. Okay, it's very important how to start. You should be very polite. Okay, we should be very polite. May I speak to Patsy? So Anita is calling and she's asking, may I speak to Patsy? Patsy is the one she's looking for. So the other way you can start is, could you please connect me to Patsy? Okay, could I speak with Patsy, please? Wonder if I can speak with Patsy. Okay, in here you're not sure if the person on the other end is Patsy. It could be anyone. Okay, because you're making a business call. The person on the other side could be anyone. It could be the secretary of the office, it could be anyone on the other side of the phone. So you need to confirm if you're talking to Patsy, and you can express that you want to talk to Patsy. Okay, and if you're on the other end, suppose you're attending a call. Okay, now call is ringing, tring 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 tring. Okay, you're picking up the phone. First you have to say is either good morning, good afternoon, that's greeting, right? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the time is appropriate to where you are and what time it is. You should say, Patsy speaking, how can I help you? You can mention your name. Okay, if you are Patsy, or if you're anyone, on the other end, you could replace with your name. So You should always address by saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and your name and how can I help you, right? The next one is good morning, how may I help you? Or you could say good afternoon, good evening. I wouldn't say it from the next time onwards, okay? The next is good morning, Dana Muslin, how can I help you? Good morning, may I ask who's calling? Good morning, who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? See, if you see, it's all very polite and the person, it's very professional and it's very formal, right? So you should always follow these ways in which you can communicate if it is in an office environment, because you don't know who the person on the other end is. By talking in a polite way, it will set a very good impression towards you, right? The next is if you are the office attendant, okay, and you're not Patsy, they've called for Patsy and you're someone else other than Patsy. So you have to look for them, right? Or you have to transfer the call. So how to say to hold on, right? You have to say it in a polite way. That is, could you please hold on for a moment while I transfer your call? Would you mind holding for one moment, please? You have to be polite again. The next is respond to unavailability. That means you picked up the call and they've asked for Patsy and you're looking all around, Patsy is not here. So what you have to say? So you must say, unfortunately, Patsy isn't available to you at the moment. Or you can say, I am sorry, Patsy is busy at the moment. You can say, I'm afraid, Patsy left the office. You can say, I'm sorry, I couldn't find Patsy at her desk. So if it is an office environment or so you could say it in different terms, right? Different ways in which you can effectively communicate. So you can pick whatever you want. You try to memorize it so that you can use it in your official conversation. And instead of memorizing, if you practice it daily, like for a few days, this will become easier, okay? Do not worry about memorizing it. Next one is take a message, okay? So suppose Patsy is not here, okay? You want to ask them, do you want to leave a message for Patsy? Because you can communicate. So something that's urgent, or if sometimes Patsy is in a meeting, so you can leave them a message. It's something important. So what you can say is, would you like to leave a message for Patsy? That means you're asking, do you want to leave a message for Patsy? Or could I take a message for Patsy? Or I will ask Patsy to call you back as soon as she's here. You're going to say, I'm going to ask Patsy to call you back as soon as I see that you meet Patsy. Okay, so these are the ways you're making them feel comfortable. The next one is difficulty in hearing. Okay, sometimes we often face a lot of struggle, like with the network or be it whatever reasons, right? You are unable to hear the call. So how you can express that to the person on the other end is, sorry, I can't hear you very well. The next is, would you mind speaking a bit louder, please? If suppose the person is talking so mild and so soft, you can't hear them, you say, would you mind speaking a bit louder, please? See, again, you are being very polite. The next one is, I'm not sure I understand what you said. Could you repeat that for me, please? So you do not follow what they said. Suppose they are speaking so fast, or their accent is different, or whatever reasons, if you're not able to understand, you must say it in a polite way. I'm not sure I understood what you said. Could you please repeat that for me, please? Okay. The next one is, would you mind speaking a bit faster, please? Suppose the person is talking so slow and you are unable to follow, or you're having difficulty listening to that. So you must say, would you mind speaking a bit faster, please? Again, the tone is very important. Just follow the way I am saying it, so it's easier. The next one is, would you mind speaking a bit slower, please? If suppose they are talking too fast, like I have that problem, I tend to speak too fast oftentimes. People tell me, would you mind speaking a bit slower, please? Okay. Next, let's move on to ending the call. How to end the call in an effective way? Okay, that you finish talking, all this is over, and how to finish. Okay, you must say, okay, thank you for your time, Miss Patsy. Okay, Mr. or Miss, whatever the person is, you can be more polite and you can greet them with a Mr. or Miss, right? And the next is, it was a pleasure speaking with you, Mr. Patsy or Miss Patsy. Thank you for, if suppose they've called you and you are ending the conversation, and you can say, thank you for calling me. Thank you for calling me. That is, you're acknowledging the fact that they called you, and you're thanking them for the time. Okay, so you can say, thank you for calling me. The next is, you can find off the call by saying, have a nice day, or have a great day, or like, have a wonderful day. There are many ways in which you can say this, so always say that. And you can also finish by saying you too. You too is when someone says have a great day to you, like someone on the other end says have a nice day, have a great day. Instead of saying you instead of repeating what they said, have a nice day, have a great day, you can say you too, which means it's just you're saying you too, sir. Okay, that's great. Then this wrong number, okay, I'll come to this at the end later, after I finish the informal ways in which you can like in informal ways of having an effective phone conversation. So okay, now we are going to see informal or the semi-formal ways in which you can have an effective phone conversation. It's here you can be a little bit casual. You don't need to worry about a lot of like being polite, or because you already have a relationship with the person, right? So it's better like you can just be a little bit casual, easing up yourself, rather than being too formal like we saw before. So let's see how you can introduce yourself. First, let's talk about you calling in landline phone, because you anyone can pick up the phone, right? Like if it is like an office space, if it is not anything other than, let's put it like this, if anything other than a particular person's cell phone, okay, you say it like this: hey, this is Anita. You're just introducing yourself. And let's move on. Let's see what you say now, how to start in the next content. Now let me see other ways in which you can introduce yourself. If you're calling a cell phone, okay, if you're calling a cell phone, because that is the person who's going to be there, you can say, hey Patsy, this is Anita, how are you, how are things? If you want to know how many ways in which you want many ways in which you can say how are you, I have made a video, I think it was my second video, on many ways to say how are you. Please watch that video by clicking the link above, or I'll put the link in the description. Okay, now let's move on to how to start. Okay, you've just introduced yourself. Now you want to have start. Okay, so how to start? If it is a landline, as I said, you will say, hey, it's Anita here, is there Patsy? Okay, or you can say, is Patsy around? Or you can say, I am looking for Patsy. Okay, that's the way you can have a start your phone conversation. Next is attending a call. That is, if you're on the other end. Okay, if you're on the other end, if Patsy itself is picking the phone call, okay, Patsy itself is picking the phone call, you can say speaking. Okay, just say speaking. If they're just saying, hey, I'm looking for Patsy, you can say speaking, right? That means you're telling that Patsy is speaking. Next, you can say, yes, I am Patsy. Next, you can say, yes, how can I help you? This is more semi-formal, I would say. Okay, yes, how may I help you? Next is, yes, may I know who's calling? This in case the person fails to mention their name. Okay, if the person fails to mention the name, you can ask who's calling. Next, let's move on to while you transfer. How to ask them to hold while you transfer. Suppose Patsy's mom is picking the phone. Just an example. Patsy's mom is picking the phone and you're the mom of Patsy. So you can say, hold on a second. Okay, hold on. Just a second. Okay, these are the ways in which you can say to hold on. Next is respond to unavailability. Patsy is not in the house again. So you can say he or she isn't home or office at the moment. Or you can say I can't find her in the house. Okay. Next, let's move on to take a message. Like I said in the formal, you may want to take a message for Patsy. So you can ask, do you want to leave a message? See, you're saying wanna, right? Not want to. Like wanna is a stylish way of saying. I will make a video on this stylish way of, like, it's clip and blend of a lot of words. So I will make a video now just saying it's a stylish way of saying want to. Do you want to leave a message? I will let him or her know you called. I will ask him or her to ring you back. Okay, these are informal. Next, if you may have a difficulty, okay, here this is where it shows that you're talking to a friend. Okay, so you can just say casually, right, to see how it goes. What was that? You can just say, what was that? If you didn't understand, what was that? What was that? Okay, or can you repeat that? I didn't quite catch that. Hey, your voice is breaking. Okay, so these are the ways in which you can be a little bit casual here. Okay, how to end the call. Again, this is another very casual. If you see, say you can just say, okay, I gotta go. That's all. You gotta go, right? Next is talk to you soon. Take care. Stay safe. Okay, especially in times like this, we say stay safe, right? Okay, as I mentioned before, I'm going to say the wrong number, right? Addressing a wrong number. In both informal and informal situation, it's going to be the same, because you don't know who the person calling is, right? You don't need to be very formal with them because they are a wrong caller. So if it's a wrong number, you can say this. I'm afraid if you call the right number. I believe you may have called the wrong number. Not sure if you dial the right number. Okay, so these are the ways, friends, in which you can make an effective phone conversation. I hope I was able to cover the whole bit of entire phone conversation, the possibilities in which you can have phone conversation. I encourage you to practice it, like, watch this video if you want to for 2 or 3 times. Try to practice it yourself in your daily phone calls, and this will become a habit. Okay, so I encourage you to practice this to have an effective phone conversation. I hope you benefited out of this video. If you did like it, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and please hit the notification icon to receive immediate updates. And okay, now let me call Patsy, and I want to say bye from both of us. Hey Patsy, come on. Come on. Patsy, come on, little girl. Oh, okay. Say bye to everyone. Bye. Say thank you for watching. Have a great day. Remember, friends, our channel is all about inspiring people to be confident. Have a wonderful day.